evening and welcome to Corporate News, the
Da-da-dun.
news show. Yes,
Aha!
done. The news show that precedes Shadowrun Corporate Sins, the highlight of our Wednesday afternoon or evenings,
Evenings.
depending
It
on
is
where you are,
evening.
I suppose.
Could be morning.
I have with me here Claudia, aka Fang, to help cap last week's episode.
Right. So this was Red Blossom. Like, this was that big thing. So to overset about what the episode was happening, we were hired by a corporation, which we will not disclose, to go into and break up a secret, evil research lab.
It's okay. Evo has been all over the place saying it was us. It
Yeah,
was us.
okay, Evo.
Because I kind of blew that when they signed up for it.
And it was into Red Blossom or Shiawase. So then we fiddled around and we saved all the elves, but we didn't get any data. So then our troll kidnapped Dr. Kim, who was in charge of the project, and we learned that Dr. Kim worked with Shiawase to be able to give deaf and blind and disabled elves wear. They also kidnapped other elves, so Shiawase's still not perfect, but that was Dr. Kim's entire goal. So then after that, Elsie snuck in with Dr. Kim and they got some evidence and some data. So then when some trades happened, those elves are still going to get what they need to have. They're still going to get that eyes in their ears. But Dr. Kim is now working for the dragon. No, Shiawase. I was going to be like the Dragon Corp.
Well, they were working for Shiawase, were they
Oh,
not?
yeah. So now they're working for Evo.
Now they're
Guys,
working for Evo.
I know the episode. Thanks for helping me out with that.
No, fair enough. Good to know. Good
Yeah.
to know. So that, of course, has massive effect on
The
the
game.
metagame, which I put through those numbers earlier today. So that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I'm not going to be as forthcoming as I might be this week because this was kind of the trial run. This was the first run done by one of the mega corporations, purchased by one of the mega corporations. So, I will say that we're pulling in a few more RPG-like elements with it, doing a little more behind the scenes. But yeah, Evo definitely got a little boost to their biotech.
Right.
And may see some other advantages coming from that this week.
But what's funny is they did this as a PR campaign, and I don't know if the PR campaign was a success yet. I just don't know. From Fang's point
Neither
of
do
view.
they, actually.
Ooh.
Neither do they. Because the way it was structured, there was they did an attack. They also did data theft. So they were trying to basically espionage. So these are all playing into the different roles in the metagame, the different things that you can do in the metagame. And this is part of why I'm being a little more forthcoming in the future. We'll hide this a little bit more, but for this run, they're getting, so they got an attack and they got espionage because they did damage to Shiawase's
totally did
facilities
because
they hired.
Shiawase lost Dr. Kim and whatever research was happening there.
And then they did espionage, so they gained the benefits of having done research. And now, since it only costs 5 AP to do all this, that's already 10 AP right there. They will have to pay for the PR campaign themselves, which we will roll on tonight. And I've given them a bonus to it.
As they should, because hired their runners. And we're actually doing another corporate run today, but we're not saying who
hired you,
because I don't even know. I don't even know.
And that actually ties in with the news, or at least with the first bit of things that I really want to talk about, which is that a number of corporations entered the lottery to hire MFEC this week, but only one corporation won. However, we're changing the rules a bit, and I've announced this a couple of times to the moderators, but haven't seen anything happen on it yet. However, which is why I'm announcing it now, part of it, every corporation now that enters the lottery to hire MFEC does get a team of runners. The lottery itself is now to hire MFEC.
So they'll still get stuff done. It's just not the A team of Mfek.
Yes.
That's pretty whiz.
So basically, hiring the runners just got way cooler. It's still, you still want Mfek. You still will get more out of having Mfek, but you do still gain from entering that lottery. You are still purchasing a team of runners. The run will be set up pretty much the same, only you'll talk to me instead of talking to Lauren and or me. Well, it's not and or, but regardless.
You'll get talked to, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, we will communicate and we'll set it up pretty much the same way. With roughly the same benefits, though perhaps a little bit less if you don't have Mfek.
White Wabbit actually asked if we don't get Mfek, do we get that team of runners that stole Jugasavelli? That
No.
the better team.
But no, because no.
You probably don't.
But I will also say I will answer more questions on that after the news.
Oh, so after I snip stuff away.
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh.
Even after that, I have to run down the stuff that happened in the metagame last week as well.
Oh, wow. There's so much stuff.
Yeah. So quickly, if anybody has questions about last week's run, questions specifically for Claudia/Fang for a couple of minutes, we can cover those.
Everyone is throwing shade right now at Mfek. I'm just going to say this. Mfek is a pretty good team of runners. Like, pretty good. We're still young.
They're certainly adequate, and
You're
as
adequate.
runners, if you are alive, then you're not a bad runner. The only really bad shadow runners are the ones who are dead,
Or caught.
or it's their first run, or so there's a list of bad shadow runners, really.
We should just
But
get a
Mfek
wall of
isn't
fame.
on it.
Right. We're not. As hard as we all try to not be on it, we're still not on it.
So I think that's something that's important to address. There's a comedic element to the show, but the reality is that in the corp run that you just did, the corporation got almost everything they wanted out of it. It's the runners that aren't necessarily getting what they wanted out of it, and that is Shadowrun. That is the world of Shadowrun in 2073.
What's really funny is I think Tony was telling me about this interesting idea of that there are two kinds of Shadowrun games. There is Pink Mohawk and there's Black Trenchcoat. Right? Black Trenchcoat is really dark and everyone's hooked on drugs or stims. Like everyone comes from bad homes. Like it's just everyone wears black, right? Or I think we like to consider ourselves Pink Mohawk, where we are doing the more ridiculous stuff that you can do in Shadowrun, and we're running with that. And I think that fits in a little bit more with the players we have out there and our improv background.
Absolutely.
So we're Pink Mohawk.
So I'm not really seeing any questions that are specific to you.
No.
So I think.
Oh, I got Gamer Blue X. Did you get your upgrade? There are a lot of upgrades actually, because we had 3 weeks game time. And that's a lot of time for Shadowrun. It's not enough to do initiations. It's not enough to get really, new cyberware. But I did get some upgrades. What?
Very nice.
I got, just as a heads up, I got skills. Because, I'm gonna laugh. I built Fang in the way that, I saw a very young Shadowrunner. And so over all these runs, I've been holding back my karma. I'm like, I want to know where Fang wants to go with this.
Yeah.
So I just literally threw up all my karma onto Fang this week.
Excellent.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good run.
Very cool. Somebody said, does Fang have a vendetta against security cameras?
No, but I really like and I really enjoy that Claudia as a person was like, I have a chance for one thing. I can either do a knowledge check to see if cutting down the camera will actually work or not, or I can just stab it. And I was like, Fang would just stab it. Claudia wanted to know if cutting the camera would be worse or better, but that's not Fang. That's not Fang.
Well, thank you kindly.
Yeah.
I'll let you run off and we'll cover some news.
Oh, wait.
Big Horse, yes, Mainframe is back this week, if I'm not mistaken.
We got our Decker, which we so need.
Got your Decker. Excellent. And then I will quickly answer Chaos's question that will there be an overarching story? There kind of already is, and Claudia is not necessarily the person to ask for that, nor am I. Lauren is. Perhaps you should hit her up on Twitter. Let's see. Anything else? Great. Let us then dive into the news. I will start by saying that a couple of corporations over the week have purchased rights to advertise in our chat. So, subscribers will be able to post their different various corporate websites, as well as a couple of corporations are allowed to post active recruitment notices in chat now. So we'll see how that goes. We may need to still continue to adjust prices a bit, but I like that we're starting to see purchases and move forward with the system as it is now. It's good to know that we responded in the right way in lowering prices, assuming such is the result of that. Right, so research this past week was a near complete disaster, with Ares, Evo, and Horizon all researching with no effect whatsoever. Evo released the following statement on that. Evo's anticipated release of a new rehabilitative drug, Pure Plus, intended to quickly and safely ease metahumans through the symptoms of acute chemical and stimulant withdrawal, has been delayed. An Evo spokesperson said that the difficulties in balancing metahuman brain chemistry has left the drug to be less effective than they had hypothesized, and another round of clinical trials will be required before the product is ready for commercial release. Evo stressed that Pure Plus is perfectly safe for metahuman use, but that the product currently fails to meet their industry-leading quality control requirements for comfort and efficacy. Any metahumans wishing to participate in Evo's clinical trials are urged to contact Evo at their toll-free public relations hotline. Renraku's robotics division suffered an attack this past week, as did Horizon's media. While Horizon was able to fend off the attackers with only negligible cost of property, Renraku was hit hard for a loss of 7% of their market subsidiary. Both Neonet and Renraku have started new subsidiaries, each focused on breaking their way into the ever-booming media sector. Our analysts indicate this could be the initial steps in purchasing advertising rights. Time will tell. Neonet also released the following statement on that. Neonet is proud to introduce its new Neo Media entertainment service, the best in new Tridio films and music. For the best and most reliable experience, enjoy it on the acclaimed, bleeding-edge Neonet Matrix service for the incredibly low price of 25 nuyen per month. And remember, tomorrow runs on Neonet, and sings and dances. Evo has also announced their intent to pioneer a new program to benefit metahumans affected by hearing and vision issues. They had this to say. After witnessing atrocities of biotechnological experimentation on metahumans, Evo knew that it needed to reaffirm its commitment to the safe, comfortable, and ethical advancement of metahumanity. As such, Evo is pioneering a new social security program called Haven, Hearing and Vision Enhancement for the Neglected. Haven is a program for poor metahumans living with audio or visual disabilities who are otherwise unable to afford the BioWare implants necessary for them to lead a complete and productive life. Evo will be providing these implants to qualified metahumans at cost with no interest payment plans, and these metahumans will be registered for an annual evaluation to monitor and maintain the ongoing quality and performance of these implants. The Haven program is being rolled out in Seattle, Hong Kong, San Francisco, and Vladivostok, and it is our intention to spread the Haven program to every metropolitan area where Evo has a corporate influence, because Evo is acceptance. As many of you are aware, there was a large magical explosion which destroyed several Wuxing facilities the other week. While Wuxing continues to refuse to provide any information in regards to the exact cause and nature of the explosion, we did receive a brief statement from Aradin Cole, head of Magical Research and Development at Wuxing. Sometimes, when you are pushing the boundaries of what is known, unexpected results can occur. This unfortunate explosion was one of those. These events have cost Wuxing's magical goods division in the neighborhood of 5 billion nuyen. And that's all I have for news, so I'd like to open it up to questions about the metagame in particular. If there are any questions about how the lottery is going to be handled going forward, or any questions about the metagame in general, feel free to pop those into chat. Did I burn my dice after last week? No, I actually took those dice and committed daily elven cleansing rituals on those dice. In fact, those are the dice that we will be using again tonight, at least initially. We'll see how that goes. I am not yet sure if those cleansing rituals have been successful, but we'll find out later tonight, or not if the corporations purchase the runners to roll their dice for them. Otherwise, we're going to be using those same cursed dice, cursed by Zach Eubank, before he left for California this past week. Can you explain the new runners stuff and lottery? Well, I did explain it a little bit earlier. I will try and do so again. Will you corner the market's coffee-related shares causing an elven monopoly? Genova Plus, I think you will find I've already done that. That is why everyone is drinking soy calf. Will there be anything posted on Stray Logic regarding the third-party runners? It will be amended to include that they are purchasing runners in general, but this is a little more RPG and a little less hard numbers. This is the introduction of the beginning of really the next phase of the metagame that includes pulling more role-playing game elements into it to create a more enjoyable overarching experience with the metagame. Beyond just numbers, we're pulling in actual role-playing mechanics into it, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So for those of you that may just be tuning in, the new rules are that when your corporation enters the lottery now, you are still entering a lottery to hire MFAC, the team of runners on corporate sins, but you are automatically granted the use of a team of shadow runners for a run that will last the same length as the MFAC run. So it will logistically work pretty much the same. The only difference is you won't see it played out on screen. You'll see it played out in the Discord with me. Not see it so much as we will discuss it, and then towards the end we will discuss the various successes that your particular team of runners had and possibly the various failures. But the lottery itself covers who gets MFEC as their team of runners. Everyone gets one now. MFEC is the one that you want. You'll probably get a little more leniency in what your gains are if you manage to hire MFEC. But we wanted to make this a way to liven things up a bit, to be attacking other corporations while still gaining for yourself, but in a way that was more interesting than just changing the attack roll to be more encompassing, to make it more like some of the other stuff that we have. We wanted something that was more nebulous and less specifically numbers based, and this is the beginning of that push. I fear Anna may have to encase the dice in blocks of concrete and drop them into the Marianas Trench. I disagree. When you purchase runners, you do not announce it to the sixth world. That is true. This will also, that brings up to me that this is the new, sorry, lost my train of thought for a moment. Right. Totally lost it. You don't announce it to the sixth world. This is also a way that everyone, yes, derailed train of thought, choo-choo, that the game numbers, the overall market segments will be getting changed over the course of multiple weeks, and you won't necessarily know why if you are not that corporation. So I may resolve, for example, say As Technology hires a team of runners, and Evo hires MFAC. MFAC is going to last a certain amount of time. As Technology may last that amount of time, or they may last a week, 2 weeks. Runners will only be hireable at the end of that, but you may see numbers change when they happen. So Aztec's run only lasts a week. Their numbers get adjusted. Nobody knows why. That's one example. It's one way of introducing fluctuation that is relevant to the game, but not explained to an outside observer. So it looks like random fluctuations. However, in-game, it will have meaning. And it will have cause, and I think that that's the important part. It will have in-game cause for these fluctuations. So, we do have a P.O. Box Dominius. So, yes, send a direct message, and they will be able to send that info to you. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about with this metagame, this is a game that is available that we built around Shadowrun Corporate Sins to make it a more immersive experience for our audience. You do have to be a subscribers. You do have to join our Discord and then choose a corporation, which you will then be able to take part, vote on what the different what actions your corporation will take from week to week. So you do have to be a subscriber. You do have to join our Discord. But last time I checked, and in fact, let me look again right now, because there are a whole lot of you that are subscribers that have not joined the Discord, or that have joined the Discord and have not chosen a corporation yet. We have a total of 290 subscribers that have joined Discord, and 203 of them, am I reading this right? Only 203 of them. That's interesting. Okay, I apologize. 493 of our subscribers have joined Discord. 203 of them are unemployed, meaning they have not chosen or aligned themselves to corporations. So that's a lot. That's a lot of people that have not chosen their corporations yet. So if you are a subscriber and you are on our Discord, make sure you do that. If you're a subscriber and you're not on our Discord, get on our Discord. There's plenty of reasons to, including playing games with Joe, playing games with Zach, and possibly even myself occasionally. So absolutely join our Discord if you haven't and you are a subscriber, and join the corporate metagame if you are on both. There you are. And one last thing that I forgot to read off earlier, the final AP action point calculations are in. Shiawase once again taking the lead with a whopping 25 action points. 25 action points allocated to Shiawase once again. Evo comes in behind them with 14 action points. Then Cedricrup and Wuxing both at 11 action points, Neonet with 10, Ares with 8, As Technology with 7, Horizon and Mitsuhama each get 6, and lastly, Renraku gets 5 action points. So that's a total of 103. Sometimes the math has to be a little odd. So when you see things like that, it's because we don't want to round down. We don't want anybody getting less action points, particularly if they're the action points for gratuities. So that means there is a minimum of 1 action point. If you're somebody in your corporation has donated $3, we want to make sure you're at least getting 1 action point for that. So sometimes there'll be inconsistencies there. Sometimes the inconsistencies will be just in the way the math is calculated for your corporate executives, your subscribers in each of these corporations. So you get that variance there, but it is around 100 action points that are divvied up each week. So that's roughly the world as it stands leading into this new run on corporate sins. I'm really excited to see what this mystery corporation has in store for MFEC. So I'm just waiting for the go-ahead, and any moment now we'll be able to tune into that. But if there are any last questions, I am getting the go-ahead. So without further ado, head on over, watch Corporate Sins with MFEC. Enjoy, guys. See you next week.